Coming up on Mountain News this morning, billions of dollars in funding will be cut from Medicaid, which could spell trouble for the future of healthcare in Kentucky. And the holiday spirit is entering Dollywood during the hot days of summer. The park takes pride in a Christmas event.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Friday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you at just about 5 o'clock on this August 1st. And it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall today as well for a look at that weather. We've made it to August, Megan. Who couldn't be happier? It'll get cooler from here.
It will, and it's getting cooler today. That's the even better part of the forecast, is we're starting on that cool foot today, and that will continue for the next week. But let's go ahead and start off with what you can expect as you're heading outside the door. Just a little bit of fog this morning. Main story will be that there is some rain out in the mountains. We're looking at the most rain in Perry County right now, as well as portions of Breathitt in Magoffin County. We'll continue to see those chances of rain over the next couple hours, clearing completely by the time we're heading into those evening hours. Now, current temperatures are about what we've seen this week, but as we head into the afternoon, it will be significantly cooler as high temperatures are in the upper 70s and low 80s, even seeing a chance of low 70s as you travel towards Wise, Virginia, 73 degrees. Over the next 12 hours, we will see those temperatures very gradually warming up, hitting the high around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. We're looking at a more cloudier day, but of course, much cooler. So it's definitely something to look forward to over the next 24 hours. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. A Nelson County man was arrested following a 5-hour standoff. Travis Bowman is charged with attempted murder of a first responder and wanton endangerment of a police officer. He was arrested early yesterday morning at a home on Evergreen Court. Police were called there at around 10 Wednesday night after a report of shots fired. They say Bowman immediately barricaded himself into the home and started shooting at officers. No one was injured. A West Virginia sheriff's deputy is facing charges after he was accused of forcing an inmate to perform sexual acts. Kanawha County Sheriff Deputy Case Close was charged with imposition of sexual acts on persons incarcerated, detained, or under supervision. The incident reportedly happened on Tuesday. The Kanawha County Sheriff's Office says that Case Close is no longer employed with the department. Staying in Kanawha County, 2 people are dead after a shooting last weekend. Police say William Moles and his son Charles Moles were found dead from gunshot wounds. The sheriff's office says deputies responded along Geneva Street in the Miami area last Saturday. The sheriff's office says William Moles shot Charles following an argument before turning that gun on himself. A historic building in Jackson County was destroyed by a fire overnight. The fire at the old Anvil Institute, that's home to the Grace Covenant Ministries, is more than 100 years old. The cause is unknown. 12 fire departments responded from throughout the area. For them, it was a difficult battle, knowing the flames were going out into the end to a building simply known as the Heart of Anvil.
A lot of people come here and they took pictures. We had car shows around here. They come take prom pictures, wedding pictures. They have weddings here.
The director of Grace Covenant Ministries says they had big plans for the building, including a school and new elevator. The ministry is unsure of it if they'll be able to rebuild as of right now. The fire is being investigated by local, state, and federal agencies. Well, animal shelters across the country are struggling to keep up, including right here in the Bluegrass. One local shelter says the rising costs of pet care is leading to more people surrendering their pets. Carly Hogston shows us what this means for local shelters and their animals.
I've never seen something like this in my life.
At Paws for the Cause in Lexington, calls to surrender pets are coming in faster than they can answer. General Manager Anita Spreitzer says after 40 years doing animal rescue, this is the worst she's ever seen.
There's no affordable vet care for a lot of these people because of the times right now. People are having problems with money. Expenses have gone up, gas has gone up, rents have gone up.
Spreitzer says Kentucky's spay and neuter law and the lack of affordable services is making the situation worse.
A normal spay here in the Lexington area is around $600, and to them, that's grocery money and gas money, you know, for them to be able to get back and forth to work and be able to eat during the month.
For shelters like Paws for the Cause, this means more animals to feed, vet, and care for with limited space and resources.
The more fosters we have, we can take more in. So we're only able to do what we can at this point. And it's very defeating and very heartbreaking for us.
They say more and more larger dogs are being surrendered, which take longer to rehome and cost more to care for. One big pup who's been waiting on his forever home is Marty. This one-eyed hound was found malnourished, but now he's playful, well-behaved, and ready for adoption.
He's the sweetest dog ever. He's a hound mix, and he'll sit there and he'll bellow for you for attention.
In Lexington, Carly Hogston, WKYT.
If you can't adopt or foster, the shelter says advocating for cheaper pet care, donating, or volunteering can also make a difference. Yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear approved the state's first medical cannabis dispensary for operations. The Post Dispensary is located in Beaver Dam. Governor Beshear says it's another step forward to ensure Kentuckians with serious medical conditions have access to the medicine they need and deserve. That location is expected to open its doors this fall. Well, billions of dollars in funding will be cut from Medicaid, which could spell trouble for the future of health care in Kentucky. The leader of the Kentucky Hospital Association told state lawmakers something that news groups have been reporting on for months now. Experts estimate that in Kentucky, 35 hospitals, mostly in rural areas, could close their doors because of the cuts. KHA, which represents about 130 hospitals across Kentucky, says hospitals are already starting to review which important medical services they may need to cut completely.
I'll know what those services are: OB, behavioral health, emergency care. And so they're going to look at that, and they're going to have to make some hard decisions about what they are going to have to discontinue and what they can continue.
Many of the Medicaid reductions are scheduled to take effect in 2026. 6th District congressional candidate and Knott County native Sherilyn Stevenson and Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman held a roundtable meeting in Madison County yesterday to hear from families on how Medicaid and SNAP cuts would impact their lives. Well, this school year, there's a new learning requirement for students in Tennessee. Students there will now be taught gun safety. Last year, the Tennessee General Assembly passed a law requiring public schools to offer annual firearm safety courses. The instruction will include safe storage of firearms and how to avoid getting hurt if a student finds a gun.
It also has to be non-political. The curriculum must be non-political, and a parent can opt out. So if a parent isn't comfortable with their child learning about firearm safety in school, they can also opt out.
Officials say that along these new classes, conversations at home about gun safety and storage can save lives. West Virginia University has a new president, and he's on the start of his welcome home tour. President Michael Benson officially took office on July 15th, becoming the 27th president of the university. Wednesday, President Benson stopped at the West Virginia Regional Technology Park in Kanawha County to introduce himself to the state. He's making stops in 18 different counties. Well, you might remember Benson from his time serving as president of Eastern Kentucky University in Richmond from 2013 to 2019. Well, construction is now underway on the first ever Kroger Marketplace in West Virginia. A Kroger spokesperson says the marketplace will be more than 100,000 square feet. Real estate manager Max Harmon says the bigger store will have larger aisles for apparel, home goods, pet supplies, and more food options for customers. The new marketplace will employ nearly 300 people. As of right now, they plan to close the existing Kroger in South Charleston and relocate those employees.
We're really excited to bring it to this community who's been awesome to work with over the last 8 years that this has been a development project.
The Kroger Mid-Atlantic manager plans to open the marketplace next summer. Well, the holiday spirit is entering Dollywood during the hot days of summer. The park is already thinking about Christmas. After installing Christmas lights in June, folks can see some signs of the 6 million lights around the park. Crews say it's easier to stretch the lights in the summer heat, and when you have so many, it takes that long to get it all done. The park takes pride in the Christmas event, which has been named the best in the world. Well, thanks so much for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning at 5:09. Prices are up for a lot of things right now, but in the summer with grilling, the cost of beef is even more expensive.
And I'll have a look at what you can expect this weekend.